Hello, my name is Kobakhidze. I'm from Georgia, from the Ministry of Health, and I'm heading the analytics department there.
Okay, the first question is that, will you inform us about the processes of hospital digitalization in Georgia?
Yes, it's a very important process that's going on for years now in Georgia, but the COVID-19 pandemic kind of accelerated this process even more. And there were created several new modules and platforms that would enable us to see the situation at the hospitals in real time. One example I can give you was the really crucial software that was developed that enabled the ministry and decision makers to see in real time the availability of COVID beds, and especially ICU beds. That was not that necessary before the pandemic, because it was more like a slow process, and the spaces at the hospitals and the beds were more available. But with the surge of infections and with a great number of new cases, hospitals were almost like on the verge of overwhelming. So the ambulance services, they needed real-time picture of where the available spots were to deliver patients there as soon as possible. So that's the one example, but systems like that were created, several of them that were accelerated because of COVID-19. But of course there are other systems that would be like non-communicable disease records and communicable disease records, like modules for cancer, HIV, tuberculosis, and so on and so on. And all these systems and modules and softwares, they work in harmony to give us the statistics and analytics that what we need, and for the decision makers to plan accordingly to that. Yes.
Okay. Would you like to start from the second question again?
I will start from the second question, but I will be quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember the question?
I remember the question. Yeah, thank you for the organizers and Ministry of Health of Turkey for this event. It's really useful to exchange the information between neighboring countries and see all the innovations that's going on. And yeah, it would benefit us to move forward. One of the most interesting panels for me was about the misinformation and infodemic, and it's a big challenge also in Georgia. A lot of people nowadays are using social media to get news from, obviously along with TV, but now and more it's getting more important, and most of people use it as a main source of information. And yeah, the social media and fake news is a big challenge for all the countries. Especially we saw how demanding it can be to battle this when it came to vaccination process in Georgia, because the anti-vaccine movement is quite strong. And yeah, it's so easy to publish unchecked and scientifically unproven information in there without giving any source or any credibility. You just post it whatever you want, and if you have a big group with the followers, or if you are maybe a celebrity and you just post it, it can be shared very easily and very fast, and thousands of people can just see it without checking, and they believe. So like in every country, but somehow it hit Georgia maybe harder than them, because our vaccination rates were hindered because of this reason quite a lot, and we are now struggling to get over the 40% of adult population to be vaccinated, and we are struggling right now. But to counteract this, obviously the strong vaccination media campaign was planned, and the minister and other decision makers, famous people, experts of this field, they were going from village to village and country to country to battle this and to convince people that it's useful and it saves your lives when it comes to COVID. But obviously it's still a big challenge, and this lecture or this panel was one really useful, and we saw WHO's tool that they developed to see what people talk about and to filter out the topics. So I think it would be really useful to use this in practice in case of Georgia, and yeah, I hope it would be helpful in the sense to battle the topics that people see that are important right now. Yes.
Okay, thank you. And the third and the last question is that, how did you find this event? And
Yeah.
Well, what would you say to the future attendees?
Well, the event was very nice and, as I said, useful from a lot of countries. Just meeting new people and not just the new people. It's also nice, but the experts of the fields that you also work on, and they might have something new that you have not seen, and you're like, oh, that was exactly what I was looking for. So it's very helpful. The atmosphere is really friendly. People are just sharing and talking, and yes, it's very useful. I would recommend to all of the future attendees to come, and they would have lots of new stuff they maybe didn't know before, maybe in their country, but that's in their neighboring country that they can maybe easily implement when they need it and if they need it. And the atmosphere is nice. The space is huge. Sun is shining. So yeah, please come, and yeah, you'll have a nice time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming here and having this interview with us. And
Sure.
joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.